Read Snow in Lucerne, Chapter 1, The Wrong Photo. Setting, Art Gallery in Lucerne. Chloe didn't know why she had said yes. She had received the invitation to exhibit her photograph in the Galeria Heilig in Lucerne without even having applied. But the promise of a few days away from New York, with snow, hot chocolate, and Swiss mountains, had seduced her. Your style has something. Int. Emo, a stranger, said to him on the first day, in front of his black and white portrait of a woman in the window. He was tall, thin, with a barely visible scar on his jaw, light eyes, a veau, that which brushed against ice and warmth at the same time. I am Leon. I work at the Lucerne hospital. I escaped for a while. He smiled. From that moment, Chloe couldn't stop thinking about him. Chocolate, wine, and ad. Scenario. Cafe in front of Lake Lucerne. Leon and Chloe began to see each other every day. They walked across the wooden bridges, drank wine in hidden bars, shared stories under Blanc Neve. But there was something that didn't fit. Sometimes he would remain silent for too long. Or he would avoid talking about his past. One night, an older woman approached Chloe in the cafe. Stay away from that man, he whispered, looking at Leon from a distance. You don't know who he really is. Chloe laughed, uncomfortable. She thought he was a village crazy person, until she found the photograph she didn't take. Scenario. Room of the Des Alpes Hotel. A new folder appeared on her laptop. Do not open. She had not created it. Inside there was only one image. A young woman, lying in the snow. Brown hair, red coat, open eyes, dead. Chloe felt a void in her stomach. The strangest thing was the background. A mountain she knew, and a shadow. Leon? She wanted to delete the photo, but she couldn't. The file was duplicated every time I tried, as if someone didn't want it to disappear. The man who cried on the mountain. Scene. Mount Pilatus. Cable car and snowy paths. Chloe followed. I saw Leon one day without telling him. I saw him go up the Pilatus mountain cable car, alone. I followed him to a path where there were no tourists. I saw him kneel in front of a tree, where he placed flowers, and cried. See. When he left, Chloe approached. There was a plaque nailed to the snow. Sophie Keller, 1992, 2021. We are still waiting for you. Sophie. That name was on the hospital file that Chloe had looked through by accident in Leon's backpack. The sealed file. Scene. Lucerne Cantonal Hospital. With the help of Ava, a local friend who worked in the press, Chloe illegally accessed the History 1 of patients. Sophie Keller. Patient in a coma due to an accident in 2020. Disappeared from the hospital in 2021. Case closed. Not resolved. The file mentioned an unauthorized transfusion. Signed by Dr. Leon Mayer. Chloe felt a chill that did not come from the winter. Flight towards the truth. Scene. Train to Interlaken, then isolated mountain. Chloe confronted Leon. Who was Sophie? He did not lie. My fiancée. And what did you do to her? I tried to save her. I failed. Leon confessed that Sophie was in a coma, and that one day she simply disappeared. Without a trace. Without cameras. He was not accused, but everyone in the hospital looked at him as guilty. Since then, I have no peace, said trembling. Until I saw you. You are like her, Chloe. Your voice. Your look. That's why I can't let you go, she read. He took a step forward. Was that what you told Sophie before she died? Leon shouted. Desperate. I didn't kill her. Shadow on the ice. Scene. Frozen lake in Interlaken. Leon disappeared that night. Chloe received a message with only coordinates. She went there. A frozen lake on the outskirts. There she found him, kneeling, holding a red coat. I found her, said Leon. At the bottom of the Lego, they buried her in ice. Chloe wanted to run, but something in her eyes stopped her. They called the police. The next day, they took a body out of the ice. It was Sophie, and on her fingers, she still wore the engagement ring. The trial. Scene. Courtroom in Bern. Leon was arrested, but not for murder. The autopsy revealed that Sophie had been buried alive. She died frozen. There were no traces of Leon in the body. The trial exposed a darker truth. Sophie's family never approved of Leon. Her father, an influential Swiss politician, had tried to separate them. When they learned that they signed an unauthorized transfusion. They used it to silence him. And her too. The person responsible, the hospital security chief, hired by the Keller family. He confessed. Leon was freed Rado. Almost love. Setting. Alleged Glacier. After the trial, Chloe returned to New York. She never knew if Leon truly loved her, or if he only saw Sophie in her face. But months later, she received a postal. It was from the Alleged Glacier. Behind, it only said, "Thank you for believing." even when I could no longer. She smiled. And she knew that, in some way, true love can survive and cling used to the deepest ice.